It's another go-round of Soccer's in Session here. Let me get rid of one piece of video so you can actually see me full. There you go. Hi. It is Soccer's in Session, day 2, round 1 of the playoffs. Big day yesterday. We'll get into your brackets and your scores and get your schedule set up in just a sec. No dilly, no dally zone because we have to go to Lincolnton, and it is to catch up with the private eye duo of Hopkins and Hayslip. I couldn't figure out. So let's see. Is it the law firm of Hopkins and Hayslip? Is it the PI firm? It's like Starsky and Hutch. It's Hopkins and Hayslip.
There you go.
I like that. I would a lot better than the law firm. I don't know if we're smart enough for that one.
No, hey, we'll take your money though. Don't worry.
No, it is the PIs. It is our private investigators of Hopkins and Hayslip, and we're waiting for them to do the Dukes of Hazzard slide to get into their respective buses and head this way. As I'm staring at the compass, because it is time for Lincoln County to hit the road, but not quite yet, because unless you guys are walking out with a computer and heading out to your respective buses, you guys are kind of busy. What's it like for both of these squads of yours to be in the postseason once more? And I know that, Will, for you specifically, you kind of had to wait a day because you had some folks that were kind of busy.
Yeah, we had to wait. We had the region track meet yesterday, which our girls, every girl that went qualified for sectionals. So that was awesome to see. About 7 of our starters wouldn't have been there, so we had to push it back a day. So we both get to go to Atlanta and just be about 20 minutes apart from each other, not too far away.
So, excuse me, Coach Hayslip, sir, what has it been like for you to get these milestones that you've been able to have this season on the boys' side?
Man, cliche again, but it's been like the magic carpet ride. We kind of knew the boys had it in them, but again, you're dealing with teenagers, so you don't really know the product that they're going to give you. And they put in all the work for the past couple of years, and man, it has paid off. Like I told you, the parents bought into getting these kids into club ball, which has significantly increased our play. It's been outstanding. I'm still kind of, as I told you last time, a little reserved, man. I'm waiting for tonight. We're excited and we're ready, but after tonight, then we can celebrate.
Class A, Division II, and so it is going to be on the girls' side, Lincoln County traveling to where Morrow High School is and playing there at Steel Road Stadium, taking on number 8 Elite Scholars Academy. And on the boys' side, if I can find my bracket and let you know where everything is there. So, of course, it's completely and totally out of order. Class A Division II, once again, upper left in the bracket, number 8 versus number 10. Lincoln County traveling to Silverbacks Park to take on Atlanta Classical. So it's ACA and Lincoln County on the boys. Both of them are 5 o'clock kicks, and we will keep an eye on what's going on there. So, Will, when you get this season, because of, I guess, is there an expectation level now with the program when it comes to the girls at Lincoln County because of what you've been able to accomplish over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think that for the most part, they kind of expect us to at least be in the playoffs. This is our 3rd straight year in the playoffs. We'd only been once prior in our school's history. So now I think it's kind of expected for us to be in it. And, there's an expectation for us as a team to want to be in it and to be able to make a run. Whereas in the past, I think a lot of times they were happy if we weren't in it because we could be done with the season. So our girls are excited. The expectations for us to try to go on the road and even if we don't win, give it our best bet and be a fist fight with it. And that's at least been our MO. We've lost 4 games this year by 1 goal. We're sitting at 8-8, and we could be sitting at 12-4, but we've been in a lot of close games, and I'm hoping that's really going to help us tonight when we play.
So, Coach Hayslip, when you're on the road and you have a road trip that goes from basically one end of the planet to the other, how difficult is it, or how different is it to prepare for something like this, knowing that you've got to space things out? You know that it's going to be probably 3.5 hours, and then you get off the bus, and then you warm up, and then you're ready, and you drop to go. So, I mean, what are preparations like on your side, getting everybody to Atlanta here and stop talking to TV personalities about what's going on with your team so you can actually get here to play?
Now, first off, we appreciate this opportunity, man. I love it. This is amazing. I'm glad you and Will have had this relationship just to give us, this opportunity. How do we prepare, man? I tell you what, we have prepared accidentally all year long. When we set out and made this schedule, Will and I kind of split duties, and we kind of split scheduling this year. And all the games that I found were 2.5, 3 hours away. So this drive is really nothing new to us. We've been absolute warriors this year, and this is a shorter drive for us. So we're looking at this as kind of a backyard play, man. We're ready to go. We're ready to go.
A backyard play that's 2.5 hours away from one side to the other. Oh my goodness. So Will, when you look at all of these close games, you mentioned all of the 1-goal losses that you had where you easily could be in another double-digit win season, but you learned a lot about yourself. What did you learn about yourself in all of these close losses that applied to the finish that you had to the season to get you ready for this round 1 matchup?
Well, we learned a lot of these losses came early in the season, which allowed us to learn that one mistake can be the difference in a win and a loss. We went to Banks County and had a chance. We kept missing it, hit the post multiple times, gave up a counter with probably about 4 minutes left in the game for them to beat us 2-1. And we just learned that if we take a breath, bad things can happen. You can't just sit and be cool with, all right, we're just going to go to overtime. Until that whistle blows at 80 minutes, you've got to keep fighting. And that's been a good thing for us because we've played some games where that's really helped us in the end. We've been in games that way. And I think it's been a tough schedule. It's probably the hardest schedule I've had since I've been here. Just seems like everybody we played was a playoff team for the most part. Not all, but most of them. And I think it's a good thing. You go into the playoffs knowing you've played hard, that when you get in a hard game, you know how to handle it. Whereas in the past, sometimes our schedule wasn't as hard. We had more wins and we got in and, we didn't know how to play in a hard game. So I'm hoping that that's going to be a true test tonight who we're playing, Elite Scholars, is a good team. They've got a striker who might be one of the fastest girls in all of Georgia. She can run. And they've got a goalkeeper who takes all their free kicks. She'll come all the way up to the 18 and bang one in the upper 90. So we've got our hands full tonight, but we're going to try our best to not let them counter on us with all the speed that they have.
So, Coach Hayslip, how much scouting how far back in film study were you able to go when it comes to trying to track down your opponents? How hard was it studying for tonight?
Well, it's Atlanta Classical. We actually had the opportunity again, thanks to Coach Homskis, who we were able to play them last year. So they traveled here last year. And if I recall, it was a 4-1 match. We had 2 opportunities where their keeper was down on the turf, and we just missed a goal twice. So now they walked away with a win. They should have, rightfully so. And they are a fantastic team, man. They are built for this. Their defenders average are 6 foot plus. They have 2 guys up top, one specifically who is extremely fast, technical with the ball. If you blink, he's gone. But we've been watching a lot of film, so we definitely feel very prepared. And I appreciate all the coaches out there who help. And this soccer community is amazing, man. Just the effort that they give just to help other teams. So I think we're pretty prepared. Again, I'll let you know at 6:30 tonight how prepared we were. But I feel really, really good about this, being able to scout and learn a lot about Atlanta Classical.
Will, what about on your side going up against to ESA? How hard was film study for you?
We were able actually to get some film. I've been able over the years to make friends with some coaches around in the area, and I had some guys that had played Elite Scholars, and they were able to send me some film for a return for some of my film. And, that's the football coach in me. I'll give you anything as long as I can get something, because at the end of the day, I need to be able to see and being able to know what they do, how they line up, and it's helped a lot. So it's appreciated when coaches are willing to film and share and do. And I always tell everybody I'm willing to share whatever if you're willing to share with me. So it's helped a lot.
So, Coach Hayslip, let me ask you this. And for those who haven't had the chance to see you and might be drifting in for the first time today, who are folks gravitating toward when they walk in the door to watch Lincoln County from your side?
Gavin Claxton, number 12. Bradley Deutschel is number 2. We have 2 dudes, Fortson Partridge, number 10. Our goalkeeper, who's a senior, man. Lincoln County is loaded. And when I say loaded, I'm not taking away from any other team. I'm just speaking in terms of Lincoln County. It's Football America down here. And this is the first time, like I told you, the guy I coach with started the soccer program here 23 years ago. And this is the second time in school history where we've had a boys team that's able to compete at higher levels. This team has won more games than any other team in the history of Lincoln County, scored more goals, more assists, done everything better. But at the end of the day, if we don't do it tonight, all that's really for naught. But man, we have a team, we have a squad that's ready to play, and across the board, I mean, each one of our guys definitely adds to our program and what we're going to be able to do tonight.
All right, same for you, Will. Who do folks gravitate toward when they go catch up with you in Morrow?
I've got two seniors that when you come out, you notice pretty quickly. On defense, name's Madison Collier. She's a good player, very physical, very fast. She was a striker as a ninth grader, moved to midfield the last 2 years. And I came to her and just said, look, we're not going to be as good scoring. We graduated our entire defense from last year, but one girl. And I just said, will you go back there? And she looked at me and said, I just want to win. So she went to defense. And then I've got another midfielder named Kaylin Stacy, who's also very fast. Looks like a little jackrabbit going around the field. It's very quick, good with the ball. And our whole team, we were very young to start the year. We graduated last year, 9 seniors, and 6 of them started, and the other 2 rotated. So I had a lot of juniors on the team this year who had only touched the field as a rotator. So early in the year, a lot of those early losses came from inexperience. But those 2 seniors have really stepped up and tried to lead these younger girls and show them how to play, even when we're not playing great, how to dig deep sometimes. So those are the 2, when you walk in, you notice them pretty quickly, because when they start running, there's not many who can run with them.
All right, so last question for you both before we see you onto the bus and heading this way to take on your Atlanta opponents. Coach Hayslip, when I'm at GPB during American football season, we do the Make That Kid an Offer segment where, for whatever reason, some player on a roster someplace is too whatever. They're too small, too slow. The grades aren't what they are. They're too whatever. Are there any players that are seniors or rising seniors that would qualify in your Make That Kid an Offer category that aren't getting the looks that they should or should be getting better looks, period?
Gavin Claxton, 100% should be getting more looks. He's a junior. Mm-hmm. He's 6 foot tall. He has picked up his speed tremendously in the past 2 years, been in the weight room. Footwork. And, soccer's not all about footwork, but that's what you see. But his IQ is bar none better than any kid that I've seen in my 20 years of coaching soccer. His humility is outstanding. His attitude is impeccable. Gavin Claxton is that dude.
All right, so who's that on your side of things, Will?
I'll say there's a junior I've got. She's a 3-year starter for me. Her name's Mary Claire Matthews. I've got some seniors who've had some looks, and they're just deciding if they want to play in college or not. But Mary Claire has started on the defense for me for 3 years. And you know as well as I do, sometimes it's hard to sell a defender because, everybody wants to see the goals and all this. But she does a very good job. She's a very good leader, very physical, very fast, communicates very well. And, for anybody to step in as a ninth grader and have to start and do on a team that went to the playoffs every year she's been a starter, we've been in the playoffs. And she's been a big part of it. And she's grown a lot since ninth grade year. She's played both wings and she's played a center back. So, she's played almost everything you can on the defense. And I'm excited. She's got great grades. She could get in anywhere. If somebody will just give her a shot, they're definitely going to be getting a steal, because she's going to be, when she goes somewhere and only focuses on soccer and that's it, that in school, she's going to be dangerous.
Our favorite private investigator cop duo. It is Homskis and Hayslip. Stop talking to me. Hit the road. Come east. It is number 8 Lincoln County versus number 10 Atlanta Classical, Class A D2 boys, 5 o'clock at Silverbacks Park. I look at my other bracket. Lincoln County against number 8 Elite Scholars, Class A D2, 5 o'clock Steel Road Stadium on the campus of the new Morrow High School. Guys, stop talking to me. Get this way. Good luck today. We'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for dropping by and being a part of In Session.
Thank you.
Hey, appreciate all your work, man.
All right, there goes Homskis and Hayslip. Tag out. We get the hot tag. And this is like one of those, like when you're in the ring and you see the guys kind of make the lunge for the corner and they make the big tag to bring in the fresh guy. That's what we're doing. We're going from Lincoln County, and we're going to catch up with GMC. We get to see Bobby Jaworski and find out what's going on with Bobby. Bobby, what's going on with Bobby?
Hey, John. How we doing, bud?
You tell me. It's a game day. How's it going, brother?
Oh, it's good. Just getting all the last minute details figured out. About to go paint the field, get things ready, and kick this thing off.
All right. So you've got Manchester right now, top ranked team in Class A D2 boys. What's study hall been like getting ready for this one?
Really, it's just about kind of fine tuning the things on our side. We took We've had a very kind of open back end of our schedule. So spring break hit, we come back and we didn't have a game until Thursday against Dooley County. So there was a lot of dead times. We had to pick up our fitness a little bit, get back on the ball, kind of knock the rust off. So last week we were preparing for Dooley, and then Monday, and then yesterday we were just again fine tuning the small things and getting ready to kick off the playoff season.
And I know that expectations for you are always high, and I know that you probably have some internal goals that are attached as we come in here to what I call season 3, the postseason. When you look back at all the goals that you had written down coming into this year, how many of them, regardless of how successful you have been, how many of those goals have you accomplished?
Just about all of them. I think the one that we wanted was to figure out a way to go undefeated throughout the regular season. Um, you know, we had originally 16 of the 18 games scheduled. We had to drop a couple because of schedule conflicts and weather. But the second game against Peach County with the new GHSA rules, we ended up dropping that in PKs. But I think we learned a lot from that game, and it kind of propelled us going forward. So we I think we checked off a lot of those boxes, and I think once we get through, we get into this game, I think we're going to start really kind of hitting our stride. So it's going to be a good portion.
How tough is Class A D2 as a classification these days?
It's not as tough as I would say you would hope. For the vast majority of the classification. However, your top 8, 10 teams have a chance to be really dynamic and kind of flip things on you. So, what we saw in the past was, you get to the semifinals and all bets are off. Now it's the quarterfinal rounds. You really start to feel some pressure, and then even this year we're not looking too far ahead, but we know that in the next round, we have Portal and Brooks County fighting it with each other, and we're expecting if we can get through today, that matchup is going to be pretty interesting.
How hard is it to go through a region undefeated?
It's tough. You have a lot of things that could easily go against you. We didn't know what the Dooley County game, the first one, was going to look like, and we went into that game. They were ranked number 1 on scoreboard, and Max Preps at that point had a pretty big win total kind of going in, and we really hadn't played up to our potential. And we go into it, we're hyped, and I think we dropped 6 goals in first 15-20 minutes. So we were definitely amped up for it. And then we go into this past game on Thursday and give up a corner kick in the first 5 minutes. Ball goes in, goes off the keeper, goes in, and we're facing a hole. So it's tough to maintain a certain level of intensity and focus for in our region play. I would say this one was a little different too, because in the past we've done single games and now we're doing a home and home, and I can't tell you which one's better. But this was it's always tough kind of going and seeing a team for a second time and trying to make sure you figure things out the right way.
When it comes to all of the and I'll use the term that I use when it comes to professional clubs and divisions, the non-traditional soccer market. When you see a top 10 that has you in Milledgeville with your pedigree, then you have Pearson in Atkinson County at number 2. Then you have LOA at number 3. At number 4, it's Towns County, so that's the Northeast Georgia Mountains. You've got Metter at 6, Lincolnton at 8, Dooley County and Vienna at number 5, Tryon's at 7, Quitman's at 9. When you have the chance to see how the sport is growing in markets like these, to where they now have these kinds of programs that are ranked, what's it like for you to see the programs grow and in these markets where you're used to maybe talking about them on a football Friday night in the fall, but not necessarily a football Friday or a football Wednesday in April?
No, it's fantastic. I mean, the game is growing, the competitiveness is growing. I think the formula is being figured out by, all these different markets. It's not just pick up the soccer ball in the spring and go jump on a bus and go play. It's play year round. Having competitive club presences around you, quality coaching around to be able to to facilitate the off seasons. All these different groups are figuring it out, and it's making the road tougher. It's making it more fun, more enjoyable, and you're seeing communities really get into the actual game itself, and get excited about going and playing. We're kind of the big bad wolf in a sense. Everybody likes to give us their best game, and rightfully so. And so we go into certain places and their crowds are just completely bonkers, right? And we love it. That's the energy you want for a game day. So I would say going back to the class itself, I think we have a bit of a disparity with who the quality teams are and how they're actually viewed within the public, because we don't necessarily have the representation with the coaches on all these different platforms yet. I've been serving as the scoreboard chair for the ranking committee for this season, and making sure that we have everybody updating all of their stuff on scoreboard where it's actively ranked. It's been kind of hard. So everyone's doing it on max preps, but you can't judge both at the same time. Like Brooks County, I believe on scoreboard, I haven't looked at it today, but they were 3 and 4. They're not getting the looks that they should. Tryon is a very good max preps ranking and schedule. They are, what'd you say, 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they should easily be probably top 3. So yeah, it's kind of wild. You got some people who are kind of hiding under the radar, no faults of their own, and yeah, it's going to be really cool rest of the season. These next few weeks are going to be really neat to watch.
Bobby Jaworski, the head coach of GMC Prep, and the Bulldogs getting ready for their matchup with Manchester coming up today in Class A Division II. What's it like having that bullseye, not just on your front, but on your back, with going into all these different places and everybody's gunning for you?
It's a lot of pressure, but like I said, it's amazing to watch all these different communities really grow in the love of the game, and so being able to kind of be a catalyst for that. We take a lot of pride in it. I think the group that we have, if you look across our roster, we have 2 seniors on it right now. The rest of them are juniors. We graduated a big group of good, amazing seniors last year. So this is a young crew for the most part. And I really think they enjoy and love it. So yeah, it's that bullseye is real. It's no joke.
Well, so for someone who's wandering in the door for the first time, whether it's today or down the line, when they wander in and they see you on the field of play, who would they naturally gravitate toward, whether we're talking offense or defense, when it comes to you doing things the way that you've been doing them this year?
Man, that's a really tough, loaded question. And I don't even know the right answers. You look at our field right now. The top technical player that we have, the one who's the most exciting on the ball, is probably number 8, Grayson Robbins. He's playing ODP with the state of Georgia. Just an amazing technically gifted athlete. The tools are out of this world. And then outside of him, Tommy Carty, who scored 25 goals for us last year, had the brace in the state championship. He's up front. You'll see him just blitz into open space, win the ball off of people, and just fire off some amazing shots. And I think our style of play is pretty free flowing. We don't try to isolate one side of the field. We try to make sure we're solid, building out of the back through the midfield, finding open spaces on the outsides, and then being able to create chances in the box. And if you look at our stat line, I mean, we've got 4 guys right now with 14 or more goals. And then Brody Brock, our senior, he's our right winger as a 7. He's got 9 goals and 6 assists. I mean, we have 5 guys up front who are pretty lethal and in a given scenario. So I think for opposing teams, it's going to be really hard to kind of focus on one person and shut them down when we've got multiple waves of attackers going in. But yeah, I think if you were to watch from the outside, Grayson is definitely going to be that highlight guy.
And at the same time, you've only given up 8 goals this year in 14 matches. Obviously, it speaks a lot about your defense and what you're able to do on that side of the ball too.
No, it really does. Hayden Wells, our sophomore goalkeeper, won state last year as a freshman. Madhav Patel as a sophomore center back. Zach Kohler, he's a junior this year. He started as a center back for us his freshman year. Because of basketball and scheduling, he kind of lost his job last year going into the season, but ended up playing as a right back for us. Now he's plugged back in. Then you got Landon Ultramari on the left side, Spencer Galloway on the right side. I mean, the way these guys play, the speed that they have, the ability to win the ball out of the air, collapse down, and then have the presence of mind to pick up their heads and find passes to break pressure. We have a very special group in the back, and they don't get the love that they deserve.
How hard is it to repeat in this day and age when it comes to high school in the state of Georgia?
I don't know. We haven't done it yet, so I'd say it's pretty tough. We had the COVID year breakup, the 2019 and 2021 years, and at that point we were 8-0. I think we had the ability to make some noise, but I would say doing it back to back has to be one of the hardest things.
When it comes to, here's the make that kid an offer question for you. Like I said, when I spend time overdoing high school football Fridays in the fall at GPB, Matt Stewart and I and Hannah Gooden, we always have the make that kid an offer question about if there's anybody on the roster that for whatever reason, and take out all of your two whatevers, too short, too slow, all in air quotes, doesn't have the grades in air quotes. Is there anybody on your roster, whether senior or rising senior, that isn't getting the looks you feel they deserve or isn't getting looks, period, that should be getting looks when it comes to your program?
I'd say the one who's not getting the looks and really doesn't even go for the spotlight is probably Gavin Smith. He plays as our 6. Doesn't really get lumped into the conversation of your defenders, doesn't really get involved with the stat line up front because it's not his role, but his footwork is unbelievable. Ability to win the ball, first touch, vision, how he, distributes the ball around. It's unmatched on our team, really. And I would say he probably deserves so much more love and opportunities at the next level. I think he has some aspirations to go play. And you can make the argument for a bunch of our guys that they have a chance to go play at the next level and, make that kid an offer kind of a deal. But I would say Gavin Smith is one of those unsung heroes that definitely deserves that.
All right. So what time is kick today?
5:30.
5:30. So for those of you within a radius of GMC Prep, go catch them as they take on Manchester. Area 4 Team 4, Area 2 Team 1, top-ranked GMC. As always, it's great to catch up with you, my friend. Don't be a stranger. We'll catch up with you as the season continues to grow. Good luck today against Manchester. We'll catch up with you soon.
Awesome, John. Thanks so much.
There we go. Bobby Jaworski, head coach of GMC. So we do once again the jump to the corner, and we tag out and we go from Milledgeville, we go to Perry and catch up with a man who's probably as busy as humanly possible, considering it's both squads, it's playoffs, it's the matchups against the same school, which is rare and wild all at the same time. I feel like I should be like Johnny Carson as we bring in Nathan Dooley. That's wild, crazy stuff, Nathan. I'll tell you that. That's wild stuff. You're playing Druid Hills not once, but twice, man.
Yeah, lucky us, huh?
So what has study hall been like for you getting ready for Druid Hills, and what's study hall been like getting ready for Druid Hills?
Watching a lot of Druid Hills, girls and boys film that I was able to get. So we started out, we knew we were going to be playing the loser of St. Pius and Druid Hills boys. So we watched that live on NFHS as a team, did a little team dinner that night and watched that game live. It almost felt like we were a college team, about to see what bowl game we were getting in and stuff like that, and who we would rather play and things like that. But it was fun having that team moment there right before playoffs start and getting to watch that. But yeah, been watching as much film as I could get my hands on, girls and boys, getting ready for this matchup.
What has this season been like? Because I know that, and I was asking Coach Jaworski the same thing about expectations. And I know that there's always that, when you have your preseason meeting, there's always the things that you want to accomplish through season one, non-region, season two, region, which kind of blends together because sometimes you duck in and duck back out with your schedules before you get into season three, and that's where you really want to make your hay. That preseason list of yours, how much of it were you able to check off through seasons 1 and 2 coming into today?
So far, everything this season. With our non-region schedule, we always try to schedule some tougher opponents, play some teams that are outside of our above our classification. And the goal there is just to get better. Obviously, you play to win every game, but really what we're trying to do is get better, get these games to help us prepare for the playoffs, which this year with the change, we finished region before spring break and had 2 weeks after. So playing veterans in Houston County a second time right before this playoff start this week, I think has really helped prepare both teams. And then the region schedule, the goal was to win region. The girls went through and went undefeated in region for their 5th region championship in a row. The boys had a little bit tougher road. We dropped a couple of games on the road, but we won all our home games. And in the end, we won when it mattered most, which was to secure that number 1 spot. So it was great to win region with both teams. As you know, it's hard enough to do with one, but then doing both, something really special. It's the second time we've done that in 3 years. So that's really big testament to the kids and to the staff I have with me here. But yeah, and so now we're just looking to everybody's on an even playing field now. We all got the same record, so we're looking to make a little run at this and see how things shake out.
When you have a region that is and I'll use this word, far flung, I think that's a hyphenated word. When you have a region that is as far flung as this region is, how much more of a challenge is it for you to have a region where you're going from there to the coast and you're going to the swamp, right? Because basically you've got you there in Middle Georgia. You've got to go. You take on Benedictine over on the coast. You've got to go to Waycross to take on Ware, and basically the entire. If you were to take that map of Georgia that we see, where it's 75, 16, 95, and the state line, you're pretty much there in that region. How much more of a challenge is it with the current geography that you have?
It's a huge challenge in region. I was talking to, I believe it was the Benedictine coach, and we were talking about how with this region, every region game when you're away is almost like a playoff game, because for us, it was 2.5 to 3 hours for each trip. And we played everybody home and away, so we played everybody twice. So that's why it was a huge stress for our region that we have to win the games at home. And then we got to try to take some on the road, because I knew it would be difficult to be on the road. And then I knew if we did that, we'd get the home field advantage for the playoffs, which I think is a big plus and asset.
When you're going up against this matchup tonight, girls side, it is Druid Hills, the number 4 team out of Region 5, and they come there tonight. You're in the upper left-hand bracket, where the winner of yours on the girls' side gets a Walnut Grove, who was the number 2. They knocked off Jones County 8-1 yesterday. And then you're also in Cambridge and Midtown. So you've got number 4 Cambridge in the scoreboard rankings going up against number 8 Midtown, below you upper left bracket. So that's a challenge in and of itself on the girls' side. And then on the boys' side, it's number 9 Druid Hills, number 10 Perry going at it with Union Grove, Walnut Grove, Cass, BT, who's ranked number 7, and Harris County in Midtown again. So it's some of the same bedfellows that you're kind of linked to in Quad A, or regardless of what class, but it's still a pretty tough upper quadrant, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, it definitely is. A lot of quality programs in the quadrant that have been here before. They've seen it. They've been tested before. I think probably our boys matchup is probably, I would say, has to be the number 1 ranked matchup for the first round, with two top 10 teams,
Yep.
heavyweights going at it. Should be a great game. Not your typical first round matchup, but that's just how it all fell this year. I told the boys the other day, I said, congratulations, you're one of 32 4A teams practicing on this Monday. And I said, also, congratulations, you're the only guys with a top 10 matchup for the first round. So,
Nathan Dooley, head coach of the boys and girls sides with the Perry Panthers, hanging out with us here as soccer's in session. Day 2 of round 1 of the playoffs here. And when we were down there earlier this year for the Warner Robins matchups, it was really cool after the matches were over and you had the chance to catch your breath a little bit to see what the school and the athletic department have done for the soccer program, giving you your own space. And it's obviously with what Kevin Smith and the football program have, they need space for like 4 times as many folks as you have on the boys and girls side. But for the school and the athletic department to acknowledge the successes that you have had to where you have your own space and can do your own things, obviously speaks volumes to the level of care that they have and the knowledge that having that kind of stuff is just a little something extra that a lot of folks may not have that can help you get that extra edge.
Yeah, we have an amazing administration that supports us. I've been here almost 15 years. I've done the boys the entire time and took over the girls 5 years ago. And with the success, the administration has always been very supportive, but with more and more success that we've had, we've been able to get some things. And us a couple years ago, we were given our own locker room, and we've kind of made it our own space, as you saw, and it is nice. It's good for the kids. It's good for the program. It's something that a lot of schools don't have, and we are blessed to have that.
Do you remember your first day on the job as soccer coach there for the program?
Oh, I do. Yes.
If you laugh, kind of my follow-up question, what was it like that first day?
Oh, man, it was I came from West Side High School in Macon, so two completely different environments. And I came over here and took over for a coach that had a lot of success here. And so it was the first couple of days, weeks, months, really year was just them trying to get to know me and me trying to get to know them and adjusting to difference in coaching styles and playing styles and things like that. So it was just a lot of learning. And I came in with a completely new coaching staff. I had a new assistant who I met him day one. So it was a interesting year.
How has it grown both in the time that you spent developing the boys program to where it is and in the last 5 years with the girls program? What has it been like there in that community for someone who's never been in and may just be learning your story? What's it been like to see this bell curve go where it's gone?
Oh, it's amazing just to see. I remember 6-7 years ago, the girls were never even making the playoffs. They were finishing last in the region. Now we're 5-time region champs, hosting for the 5th time in a row, first round playoff game. Boys, we've had our ups and downs, but here recently, we've been 1 or 2 in the region for the last 3-4 years, winning region, like I said, 2 years ago and now again today. The community support of soccer has increased. Our club level participation in Middle Georgia has increased, so that plays a big part into it. And then, just like I said, just having a school and community that supports all of our athletics is huge, and that brings people here as well.
All right, so let me make that kid an offer question for you. Boys and girls sides, either a senior or a rising senior, or shoot, it might even be a freshman or a sophomore that you think is really going to take the world by storm over the next couple of years. Who do you think is not getting the looks they deserve and should be getting looks from higher level institutions, whether you're talking someone who's being looked at D2 who should be getting D1 looks, that kind of a progression, or isn't getting any looks that you would like to sit there and stand on the roof of the press box there in Middle Georgia and point at these people and go, look. Who would fit in that, make that kid an offer category for you?
I would say on the girl, I'll start with the girls. On the girls' side, it's going to be probably junior Madison Gallagher, who's our center back, who is just a solid player. Her field vision, her leadership, her ability to play, defend in the air, 1v1s, just everything has just been solid. And she's been a big reason why we've had the success we've had this year. And then probably another junior would be Madeline Foster, who is our striker, who's had a great year, got speed, got size, has scored with both feet, with her head. She's just got a knack for finding the back of the net. And then one that I know is young but will get the looks has been freshman Mia Mathis, who is our attacking mid. Mm-hmm. And she leads the team in goals this season with 19 from the midfield. So I know she's young, but I know those looks are coming. But those two juniors are ones that want to play at the next level, just haven't been getting quite the offers that I believe they should.
What's it like having a freshman that has stepped onto the scene like Mia had?
It's been awesome. It's been a welcome gift. We had graduated a ton of seniors last season that had a lot of success. So we knew we were going to have some holes to fill. So having a young player like her, of her caliber, come in, immediately gel with the older girls and be able to go out there and show her skill on the field has been awesome, amazing.
What about on the boys' side? Anybody on the boys' side that you want to sit there and go, look?
I would say on the boys' side, well, our top guy, Harrington Arnett, number 22, he's signed to go to Auburn University of Montgomery. So he'll be playing there next year, and that's where he chose to go. I would say probably a couple of sophomores, actually. One would be his brother, J.D. Arnett, center back. He's 6'3", giant.
I was going to say, those two, they're like 9 feet tall, and you can't miss them when you're calling a Perry match. I'll tell you that.
You cannot. Him and probably one of our midfielders, Trent Torres. He's a solid player that should get some looks at maybe some D2 level schools and stuff like that. So those would probably be the ones I would say right now.
All right, cut the promo for me for folks that are in Middle Georgia, anywhere within earshot that should come and see Perry play Druid Hills and see Perry play Druid Hills. What's happening?
Hey, come out tonight, 5 and 7, to the Panther Pit to watch one of the top matchups, I believe, in the state for girls and boys. You've got two storied programs who have gone head-to-head before. It's been a while since I played Druid Hills, but we've gone head-to-head before, and I know it's going to be a great matchup.
No doubt about it. Give the coaches at Druid Hills our best. They're great friends with us here at SDH as well. So be well. May everything go safely tonight. Have a fantastic day in the doubleheader, because that's going to be some fun soccer there in Middle Georgia. As always, great to have you on to catch up about what's going on down there at Perry. Thanks a lot, my friend.
All right. Thank you.
There goes Nathan Dooley, head coach at Perry and head coach at Perry. And he's playing Druid Hills, and he's playing Druid Hills, going up against our friend Kai Uchimura on the girls' side. And so, no, it's going to be a fun one tonight, going up against Perry and Druid Hills. And like I said, Perry and Druid Hills and Perry and Druid Hills. So it's going to be a fun one tonight with Thomas Bodnar on the boys' side, Kai Uchimura on the girls' side, going up against that particular staff with Coach Dooley. Dr. Nathan Dooley, by the way. I think he's a doctor. He's got his PhD. I think it's in econ. So that's pretty wild stuff there. All right, so let's go over the final scores from yesterday. Let's go on. Let's go girls yesterday, and we'll start things off, and then we'll get you ready for the matchups today. So tomorrow, Class A D1 girls. That kicks off tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, we're going to have Brian Lawson, the head coach of the Jeff Davis programs. He's going to lead off. Heather Richardson is going to hop on from Social Circle at 12:20, and then Jeremy Moore from Toombs. He is going to hop on at 12:45. Hopefully, we won't be keeping him for most of his lunch. Class AA girls, that is also going to go on tomorrow. That's going to be your matchups there in Class A, Class AA. AAA, once again, that's tomorrow as well. So we'll save that discussion for tomorrow. Private is also tomorrow, so we'll have that discussion tomorrow. What happened yesterday, plus the matchups today. Class A D2 girls. Bryan County and Irwin County, they meet on the 29th. They both had byes. Irwin County right now ranked number 7, Class A D2 girls from our friends at Scoreboard. Hawkinsville beat Chatco in PKs 3-0. It was 2-2 after 100 minutes. They went to PKs. Hawkinsville gets the winner of Lincoln County and Elite Scholars Academy. That, once again, today, 5 o'clock, Lincoln County. Girls are playing at Steel Road Stadium on Morrow High School, the new Morrow High School property. That's going to be at 5 o'clock. So if you're anywhere near Morrow High, you can catch ESA and Lincoln County. Winner of that one gets Hawkinsville upper left. Crawford County beat Trutland and Roberta yesterday 2-1. They take on Atlanta Classical. Atlanta Classical went to the mountains, beat Towns County by the score of 5-2. Lanier and Screven play next week in Sylvania. Screven, the Area 3 team number 1. Right-hand side, Mount Zion Carroll and Lake Oconee Academy. Lake Oconee Academy is going to host that one next week. Dooley County beat Southwest Georgia STEM 1-0 as the number 10 team in scoreboard rankings advances. They will travel to Portal. Portal beat Brooks. Portal right now ranked number 6. They beat Brooks by the score of 3-2. The GMC's girls put 10 on at Macon County yesterday, so the number 9 team advances. They take on the winner of Claxton and Atco. That one is this afternoon in Pearson. Greene County takes on number 1 Tryon. That is also next week on the 29th. In Quad A girls, once again, Druid Hills and Perry, 5 o'clock today at the Panther Pit. So be there for that one if you're in Middle Georgia. Walnut Grove beat Jones County 8-1. They will travel to Perry if Perry beats Druid Hills today. Cambridge beat Southeast Whitfield 8-0, and Midtown beat Central Carroll 10-0. So that means number 4 Cambridge travels to Midtown next week on the 29th. Eastside was down 1-0 at Ola, came back to win that one by the score of 7-1. They will travel to Marist. Marist, the top team in that mini bracket, the region champ in Region 5. They will end up now hosting Eastside. So Eastside 7-1 winners at Ola. Eastside travels to Stadler Field to take on Marist, number 2 ranked team in Quad A girls. Westminster went to Dalton, beat the Catamounts 5-1. They will take on the winner of Drew and Stars Mill. Stars Mill ranked number 9. Stars Mill is hosting that one on campus. So Westminster goes either to Stars Mill or they will host Drew, left-hand side of the Quad A bracket. Right-hand side, upper right, Harris County beat Maynard Jackson 2-0. They go to top-ranked Blessed Trinity. They shut out Cartersville 4-0. St. Pius, who's ranked number 6, shut out Ware County. And East Forsyth beat Locust Grove. So East Forsyth, they now travel to St. Pius. The 4 seed comes through, winning that one 4-2. So the 4 seed East Forsyth goes to St. Pius next week. All these matchups are on the 29th. 7 versus 10 in the scoreboard rankings. Pace Academy beat Northside Columbus 4-0. They will travel to number 5, Allatoona next. Allatoona beat Centennial 7-1. Northview, the 3 seed, went to Middle Georgia, beat Warner Robins by the score of 6-1. They will travel to North Oconee next week as North Oconee shut out Union Grove by the score of 7-0. 5A, Jackson County beat Thomas County Central 3-1. They will take on Greenbrier. Greenbrier had no problem with Rome. They won that match handily. I think it was 6-1 the final there. And so Greenbrier hosts Jackson County next week on the 29th. In the matchup that we had on the network last night, Lassiter shut out Johns Creek 5-0, number 3 hosting number 7. Lassiter travels to Chambly. Chambly beat Dutchtown 6-0. Loganville and Veterans playing today. Veterans is hosting as the 2 seed out of Region 2. Winner of that one gets Villa Rica. Doesn't matter who it is. You're traveling to VR. They shut out Effingham County by the score of 4-0. River Ridges girls in 5A beat Milton in PKs 3-2. It was 1-1 after 100 minutes. So River Ridge travels to Northgate, the number 6 team in the scoreboard rankings, who shut out Decatur 4-0. Right-hand side of the bracket, McIntosh at number 4 beat Dunwoody 2-0. They will travel to Pope, so it's number 4 at number 2 on the girls' side. Lanier shut out by Pope by the score of 3-0. Lakeside Evans shut out by number 9 Alexander 2-0. They will travel to Houston County. Houston County hosted Clark Central, won that one 2-0. Low right, Lakeside DeKalb shut out Noonan 7-0. at number 5. They will travel to number 1 Roswell, who beat number 10 Riverwood 3-1. Kennesaw Mountain was tied at 1 for the longest time against Glen Academy on the coast. They got the goal in the second half. They beat the Red Terrors 2-1. They will travel to number 8 Habersham Central. We'll catch up with the two coaches in that one sometime between now and the 29th. That is your rundown in 5A. Also on the board in 6A, Mill Creek beat Carrollton 6-1. They will travel to Richmond Hill, who shut out Wheeler 8-0. Lambert at number 6 shut out Norcross 4-0. And they will travel to South Gwinnett, who shut out Paulding County 3-0. Low left, Mountain View shut out Chapel Hill 5-0. Walton put 11 on Colquitt County, and that one was done after 40 minutes. Number 5, Walton will host Mountain View next week. Denmark and North Gwinnett. North Gwinnett, Brian Burkhart was on the show yesterday, and they shut out Denmark 4-0. North Gwinnett, the number 2 team out of Region 7, travels to Harrison. Harrison beat Grayson by the score of 10-0, so it is number 8 at number 4 next week in 6A girls. Right-hand side, number 7 Hillgrove beat Archer 9-0. They travel to West Forsyth. West Forsyth ranked number 3 in the state in Class 6A girls. Hillgrove at West Forsyth next week. North Paulding shut out Lowndes. They will travel to East Coweta. East Coweta beat Collins Hill by the score of 4-3. Campbell at number 9 shut out Grovetown, so a 3 beats a 2 in 6A, and they will travel to number 1 Brookwood. So number 9 Campbell, number 1 Brookwood. Brookwood gave up goals, beating Forsyth Central 5-2. Cherokee went down to the coast, went down to Kingsland to beat Camden County by the score of 2-1. They will travel to number 2 Buford, who had no problem with Westlake putting 10 on the board there against Westlake. So that is your girls rundown for what happened yesterday, plus the matchups that are happening today. So today in the boys classifications, once again, Class A D2 boys, Bryan County and Atkinson County play a week from today. So upper left, Montgomery County at Macon County and Montezuma, Lincoln County and Atlanta Classical. We talked about that one, number 8 versus number 10. That one is at Silverbacks Park at 5 o'clock. Wheeler County at Chatco Elite Scholars goes to the mountains to take on Towns County, who is ranked number 4. They will play on the 30th, a week from today. The winners will, and take on the winner of Irwin County and number 6 Metter. Metter's hosting that one a week from today. Mount Zion Carroll goes to LOA. That one is a week from today. Crawford County, Dooley County. Dooley County right now ranked number 5 on the boys' side. If you missed the interview yesterday with Nathan Nato, the head coach at Dooley County, on the girls' side and the boys' side, caught up with him about those two programs. Crawford County travels, so it's Roberta to Vienna, just down 475. Well, is it down 475? I might be, just barely. So just the last exit on 475. You go down to Vienna, get off at Dooley County. So Crawford County, Dooley County, Eccles County at Claxton. Then it is, as we talked to head coach Bobby Jaworski at GMC, he is hosting as number 1. They're taking on Manchester. Winner of that one gets Portal and number 9 Brooks County. Washington Wilkes Tryon is next week. Tryon ranked number 7 in the rankings. Class A D1 boys is on Friday. They get theirs started then, as does AA boys, as does AAA boys, and does private. Quad A, to wrap up our brackets in 4, 5, and 6. Union Grove at Walnut Grove. Druid Hills and Perry. That's the nightcap at the Panther Pit tonight. Cass is at number 7 Blessed Trinity. Harris County travels to Midtown to take on Midtown. Low left, North Oconee and Stockbridge. Ware County travels to Marist to take on the number 2 ranked team in the boys classification, region champs of Region 5. Centennials at Allatoona. Forest Park is at Stars Mill. Maynard Jackson, upper right, travels to Northside Columbus. Southeast Whitfield travels to number 5 Westminster. Wayne County travels to number 4 Clarkston. East Forsyth travels to Eagles Landing. So upper right in Quad A, number 5 Westminster, number 4 Clarkston, and Eagles Landing could be playing Clarkston this time next week back down at Eagles Landing. Griffin, low right, takes on number 6 Pace Academy. Kell travels to Dalton to take on the Catamounts. St. Pius at number 3 goes to Benedictine. McDonough travels to the boys' number 8 East Side. That's Quad A. 5A, Houston County travels to Clark Central, who is ranked number 6 in the scoreboard rankings. Kennesaw Mountain at Greenbrier. Chattahoochee at Sprayberry, who is ranked number 3. Morrow, who goes to Woodward Academy. So next week, if chalk holds, you could have number 3 at number 5, Sprayberry at Woodward Academy. Low left, Jackson County and Lee County. Evans at number 9, Rome. Sequoia is at number 4, Johns Creek. Winner of that one gets the winner of Lakeside DeKalb and number 2, McIntosh, and that is low left. 5A upper right, Chamblee goes to Dutchtown. Roswell travels to number 1, River Ridge. Glen Academy to number 8, Alexander. Loganville to number 1 seeded to the region champ of Region 2, Veterans, Loganville and Veterans. Northgate takes on Decatur. Riverwood goes to number 7, Milton. South Paulding to Lakeside Evans. Coffee to Habersham Central. That's your rundown in 5A. 6A boys. Douglas County is at Decula. North Paulding at Richmond Hill. Meadow Creek travels to number 3, North Atlanta. Hillgrove travels to number 1, Grayson. Left-hand side, low left, Mill Creek to East Coweta. Colquitt to Etowah. Alpharetta to number 2, Norcross. South Gwinnett to number 8, Pebblebrook. So if chalk holds, you could have number 2, Norcross travel to number 8, Pebblebrook a week from today. Heritage Conyers travels to Campbell. North Gwinnett to number 4, Lambert. Marietta, the one result from 6A that happened yesterday, beat Lowndes 7-1. So Marietta at number 10 advances, and they'll take on the winner of Discovery and number 5, Carrollton. Harrison, low right at number 7, travels to number 9, Archer. South Forsyth and Duluth. Walton and Camden County on the coast. Chapel Hill travels to number 6, Collins Hill. That is your rundown of everything bracket-wise on day 2. Day 2 of round 1 of the playoffs here when it comes to Georgia high school soccer. And it is all over the place. And once again, thanks to our coaches who got to hang out with us to get today. Homskis and Hazlett from Lincoln County, Bobby Jaworski from GMC Prep as he gets ready for Manchester, and Nathan Dooley, the head coach of the boys and the girls programs at Perry. And they are going to be busy today. Tomorrow, Brian Lawson, the head coach of both the boys and girls programs at Jeff Davis, he's going to join us at noon. Heather Richardson, the girls head coach at Social Circle, she is going to join us at 12:20. Jeremy Moore, the head coach at Toombs, he's going to join us at 12:45. And Mike Pettit, the head coach at Callaway on the boys and girls sides, he's going to bat leadoff for us on Friday. And we'll find out what's going on there with the Callaway program. Once again, he's the head coach of the boys and girls sides, and so we'll try and see what's going on there. We will also catch up with Chris Romano, the head coach at Coney County on the boys side, and we're going to tape that interview and turn it as an audio 1v1, and you'll get to find out what's going on with Chris Romano and what is going on with the boys side of Coney County. And so we'll catch up with him in just a little bit. So set your notifications for your 1v1s. You'll get the story from Chris Romano about what's going on up at Coney County. And so it's once again a very, very busy day for us here on the network. Once again, tomorrow, back at it at noon. We'll let you know what happened in day 2, get you ready for day 3, and we will lay out all the brackets for you, all the matchups, try and catch up with as many coaches as possible. On any given show day, anything is humanly possible. So like I said, we'll catch up with Chris Romano coming up in just a little bit offline. You'll hear that as a 1v1 podcast as an update coming up in just a little bit later on this afternoon. Also set your notifications. If the game that we are looking to call, if we get permission to do it, it'll be later this afternoon, and you'll get notification on that later today and find out what matchup is there. And so it'll be a lower classification matchup. And also remember that once that matchup is over, then you have Atlanta United and Carolina Core. That the twos and Core, that's going to be a 7 o'clock pregame, also a 7:33 kick. You can listen to Maddie and Jason and Jared on the call there at soccerdownhere.mixler.com. And you can also download the Mixler app. Before we go, let me show you what that looks like, so you're not sitting there and you're going, what is going on with all of my notifications and everything. Okay, so here we go. Mixler, MIXLR. You download the Mixler app, and then you follow Soccer Down Here. And when you find out when SDH has a new matchup going on, first and foremost, all the matches are archived. So they're archived for about a year. So all of the matchups are archived. You can find out what's going on with your favorite matchups across the board, and you can listen to them at 3 o'clock in the morning if you want to. It's the way it always goes. But once again, Soccer Down Here and SDH2, keep an eye out for those on your Mixler app, MIXLR. Download the Mixler app, and you can get all of the matchups that you're looking for that we broadcast on the network archive. Once again, twos and MLS Next Pro and all the high school action that we have and you can find out what is going on with all of those matchups at Mixler or soccerdownhere.net. Hit the listen tab, and you can sit there and you'll see a flashing light when we have something going on live. Follow through, go to the channel that is broadcasting, and it goes to our broadcast either on SDH or SDH2. That's another go-around of Soccer's in Session presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Thanks for coming on with us. Thanks for being a part of things. We'll be back at it again once again. 9:05 tomorrow morning for the morning show. Noon Eastern for Soccer's in Session presented by Kaiser Permanente. And also, once again, Carolina Court, Atlanta United 2, tonight on the network, soccerdownhere.mixler.com. So thanks to the coaches, thanks to y'all, and thanks to everybody here at SDH. Much applause to y'all. Play it safe. Since it's the end of the show, that means we get to do this. Back at it again with live action later today. SDH AM 9:05 tomorrow morning. And Soccer's in Session once again back at it at noon Eastern tomorrow. Play it safe. See you later.